Today, I'm going to show you a free AI agent and we're going to compare whether this is better than Manus, right? So Manus, super powerful autonomous AI agent, but most people can't access it because they need an invitation code. And it is an unbelievably powerful tool, but I'm going to show you a free alternative to this, right? So what you can actually do is you can go to Visual Studio Code, get it downloaded, SP inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you don't know how to set this up. Then go to extensions, set up RooCode, make sure you have that installed. And then from here, we can go to RooCode. And to get to use this for free, the way that we're going to use this for free is we're going to switch over to Google Gemini, right? Google Gemini is completely free. We can hit save on that. And we can also select the API key that we want to use. So we'll just go with Flash Experimental for now. And then we can start building out things with RooCode directly inside here instead of using Manus, right? So let me show you some examples and we'll pull up side by side some examples of what I built with Manus versus how you can do the same thing for free inside RooCode, right? So if you want to see some of my creations with Manus and what we've built with it, and it is an amazing tool, don't get me wrong. But if we go to some of these tools, for example, let's have a look at this. We're going to pull up, for example, a AI content writer, all right? Here's an example. So if you wanted to build something like this, inside RooCode, we can take a screenshot and what we can do is using the vision inside RooCode, we can go over here, we can click the plus, we can paste in that screenshot of the tool that we want to build that was created with Manus originally. And we say, okay, build an AI SEO tool like this that can use API keys, use the same UI. All right. And because we're using the API key from Google, it is completely free to use, all right? So the way that this works is we're using Visual Studio Code, which is free, RooCode, which is a free extension inside Visual Studio Code, and then we are using the free API key from Google to clone the tools that we've built with Manus, right? So it's going to start coding that out. You can see it's already done the HTML. Now it's starting to edit the files. It's going to create the JavaScript as well. It's asking for a perplexity API key because it needs to do a question. So it needs the functionality to handle API keys. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the perplexity MCP server to get that set up. Now, if you want to get that set up, we're just going to go over to perplexity, like you can see right here. We'll go to my settings, API key. And this will connect it to the internet so it can do like live searches and that sort of thing. So we're going to copy this API key, go back to RooCode, say API key equals this, and it should be able to start using that. All right, so you can see it building out this tool. And if we open this up, we've just created the AI SEO content writer using exactly the same process. Really simple and easy to do. And we just cloned a website. Now, the UI is not as nice because it's not using Claude 3.7 Sonnet, but does it work? Is it good to go? Absolutely, right? You can add your keyword, your content outline there. I'd have to check whether the API key actually works. But if it doesn't, you can go back and forth with the AI until it does. And then, yeah, you've basically cloned what Manus can do, all right? Now, if you want to, for example, use this as a free, or if you want to use like a similar level version of Manus, but inside RooCode, then we can switch to Anthropic. And Anthropic is way more powerful, right? It does cost money to use, but it's super cheap as well. And then instead of using the free API key from Google, we can switch now and switch to Claude 3.7 Sonnet. And let's test this out now. So for example, let's see what we built with Manus here. All right, so let's say, for example, we've created this website with Manus, like you can see. We can do exactly the same thing inside RooCode. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. We'll go back to RooCode now. And we're going to say, okay, research Julian Goldie using perplexity MCP. Then create a better version and better designed version of this website. Then we'll paste in the screenshot that we've done and we'll put with lots of personal information about Julian Goldie. All right. Just need to make sure we've got that set up. It should be good to go here. Well, it looks like the screenshot is too big. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to X off that. It's because the screenshot is 5 megabytes, which is too big for the AI. So I'm just going to say, okay, research sheet and goal using Perplexity MCP, and then create a modern, sleek, beautifully designed, version personalized website. All right. So it's going to start going off and doing that. And then essentially what you can do is, with a combination of the Perplexity MCP tool and the power of Claude inside RooCode, we can start coding locally, which Manus actually can't do. And we can start building something out that's really nicely designed on the front end as well. Plus, we can connect this AI agent to the internet using this process. But also, because we're using an MCP server, right? It's not inside like my live instance of Chrome or anything like that, which makes it a lot safer as well, right? So it's going off and doing the research with Perplexity now. So you can see query here, and then it got the response back from the Perplexity MCP. And now it's using that to start building out this page. So it's like, let me start by creating the project directory. And essentially, like anything you can do with Manus, you can pretty much do inside RooCode as well. The other thing to note here is, like, quite often inside Manus, if you haven't used it yet, or if you're waiting for access and that sort of thing, it's limited in terms of the amount of times you can use it. So if we go to get started over here, I think yesterday I used it once and we reached the maximum daily usage limit, right? Because it's in beta testing. I think once it's released, it should be amazing. But you can see if you can only complete one task a day, it's not going to be that powerful, right? So for example, we asked it one task here, it went off and did it. But then for the second task, it was really limited, couldn't do its magic. And so with RooCode, you can use this as many times as you want. You're not limited anyway, right? Plus, you get more control because you can code locally. You can use whichever API key you want. There's no invite codes required. There's no daily limits. And also, it's really autonomous and reliable. Plus, you can run multiple AI agents at once. So if you want to run multiple AI agents, you can have 2 different windows running, like you can see right here. And I'll show you some other cool stuff as well, because this actually runs directly with your Chrome instances if you want to. But yeah, and if you want to learn exactly like how to set up the API key and the Chrome instance inside here, just check out the recipe inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Now, there are some limitations inside RooCode versus Manus, to be fair to it. So one of the good things about Manus is like you can host stuff on subdomains live. So you see how this is deployed to manus.space. Obviously, you can't do that inside RooCode. You can only host stuff locally. Maybe there's a Netlify MCP. I've not tested that out. But for deploying websites, you can only really run them locally and then host them locally until you switch them to Netlify, right? So that's one of the limitations. But overall, it's super powerful, super easy. And of course, like the other limitation is if you want the full power of this, you have to use Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which is going to cost maximum like 30 cents or something like that. But you can see you got the page right here. That's ready to go. So we've created this whole website, all personalized to Julian Goldie. It's got information about me, who I am, etc., case studies. And then also if we want to improve the design, so what we can see now is you can see the AI agent navigating through the website. But if we want to improve the design, I'm just going to hit cancel. And I'll say, make the design much more sleek, modern, and beautiful. And it will actually update the design. Now, the design from Claude is pretty amazing if you keep asking it to iterate, right? So if you keep asking it to improve the design, asking it to be more sleek, more modern, more beautiful, etc., then each time you do that, it's going to add like an extra layer of paint to the CSS to make it look better and better each time. You can ask it to add animations, make it more fun, etc. as well. But we'll see what this comes back with in a second. So you can see it's automatically editing the style CSS. There's another feature inside here as well. So in a minute, I'll show you something interesting that's called Human Relay. This is another feature inside RooCode that just makes it completely unique from anything, right? So for example, if you wanted to code with a tool like Grok 3, not everyone has access to Grok 3, right? And the API key, for example, for me even, is not available. But I can use the Human Relay feature inside RooCode. It'll be free to use, and also it allows me to code with something like Grok 3. I'll show you that in a second, but we'll wait for this to load first. I want to see what the CSS is like after this. Hopefully it's a lot nicer. Taking a little while to go through it. It's writing, 1,000 lines of code? Pretty crazy. The other thing here as well is like you can actually get while we're waiting for that to code, let me show you something else. So if we go back over here, we'll hit done. We've got Anthropic running, all right? And then if we say, for example, okay, let's see here. We'll go to, ask it to just go to Twitter or something like this, right? And this is something that Manus can't do. So Manus, unless you give it the login details, which is a bit of a security risk, it can't just go off to Twitter and start tweeting for you, right? Because it needs the login details, which is a big security risk. Whereas, for example, what we're doing right now is we're running a debug instance of Chrome, and that allows us to get the AI to control our browser, like you see right here on this test account. And then from here, what it's going to do is it's going to start tweeting. So, for example, we can see it's navigated to the homepage of X, and then it's clicked in the what's happening section. And if we wait for it to write, again, I'm not typing this or anything like this, so it should just start writing in a second. Let's see what happens. There we go. So it's written the content. It's like AI doesn't replace human creativity, it amplifies it. The most powerful feature belongs to those who partner with technology rather than theory. Actually, a pretty nice quote. And we can just use that as a post. Hit post, boom shakalaka. We've just tweeted to Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, whilst it's coding our website, right? So you see how it's running two different instances of the AI agent, one over here, one over here. And this is like a Twitter agent, and this one is a HTML agent, right? So you can have an army of AI agents working in the background. Whereas, for example, with Manus, if you can only run one instance of it per day because of the daily limits, then you're going to be held back a little bit. All right. And again, RooCode is completely free. The only thing you're paying for is the API key. And again, you can use Google's API key if you want to just run this for free. So it's editing the HTML file now and the CSS. We'll say, okay, can I preview this now? And we'll just see, I could get it to code for a minute or so and back and forth, but obviously I'm creating a YouTube video here and I want to make it like really fast for you. But you can see how it's upgraded the UI just on a little bit of coding right here. So it looks a lot more modern now. It's nicer designed. It looks better. Honestly, if I wasn't recording a YouTube video, then I could get a much better output from this. And you see how it links to all my relevant social media accounts here. For example, this links to their SEO Elite Circle. And this links to my Twitter directly, right? It's even figured out, okay, these are the social media links we need to add. It's added a nice little contact form, nice little case study section, etc. And we're good to go on, all right? So anything that you can build with Manus, you can really do inside RooCode. But the difference is you get so much more control. You get control over your API. You get way more usage limits. You can run this locally. You can build multiple different things at once. And also, it can interact with your live Chrome instance using the computer use section right here. Right? Now, if you want to set that up inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but essentially we just go to browser and computer use settings, and then you can see here we've connected it to our local host. You just have to run this through terminal, like you can see. So if I open up my terminal over here, you can see that we're running a terminal with the debug version of Google Chrome. Pretty simple. And then if you ever want to take control or cancel this, we can just hit cancel like so, and we're good to go right there. Or you can just resume it at once as well. Plus, if you ever want to come back to the files, they're all stored locally, so you can come back to them whenever you want. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get the SOP for setting this stuff up, feel free to get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you go to the SOP section and then scroll down to the RooCode section, you can get it right there. This also comes with all of my best trainings on like email and content automation, social media. Basically, the whole community is focused on, for example, making more money and saving time with AI. So if you want to get all of my best workflows and SOPs for that, based on how I've scaled my business, then feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Also comes with weekly Q&As with us, and if you can't watch them, they're recorded so you can watch them back inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And this has 508 members that you can ask for help and advice, right? So if you have any questions, like you can see right here, then, for example, new comments all the time, new community posts, etc., then you can post inside the AI Profit Boardroom community and just ask any questions you have, right? For example, if you get stuck with something technical, post inside the community. People can help you out right there. Super powerful stuff. Feel free to get it. Link in the comments and description. Price is going up at the end of the month, so make sure you sign up now. We've only got 7 days until that's left. And also, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link inside the comments and the description. And we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free custom SEO game plan to generate more lead sales and profits from your website. You'll discover the secrets to SEO link building, and we'll answer any questions you have one-to-one directly on the call based on what's working for our clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments in the description. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.